a triangle with coordinates A at 0, 0, B at 4, 0, and C at 0, 4 is enlarged by a factor of 2. What are the coordinates of the image? Well, if you're enlarging it by 2, you're going to multiply by 2. So if I do 0, 0 times 2, I'm going to get 0, 0. If I do 4, 0 times 2, 0 times 2 is 0, 2 times 4 is 8, so I would get 8, 0. And 0, 4 times 2, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 0 is 0. So my coordinates are 0, 0, 8, 0, and 0, 8. Number 17, when a 15-foot tall climbing wall casts a 20-foot shadow, a building casts a 32-foot shadow. Find the height of the building. Well, that's just two similar triangles, so I drew a triangle with the climbing wall. It's going to meet the ground at a right angle. And then I drew the building. The height's going to meet the ground at the right angle. I labeled the appropriate positions. And then I can set up a proportion, and I can say 15 compares to h in the same way that 20 compares to 32. So I would have 20h equals, so that's going to equal 480. Divide each side by 20. Cross out the zeros, and 48 divided by 2 is 24. So the height of the building is 24 feet. Number 18, if triangle ABC is similar to triangle EFG, and segment BD and segment FH are medians, you have to find BD. Well, there's a theorem that says if two triangles are similar, the lengths of their corresponding medians are proportional to the lengths of their corresponding sides. So my medians are BD and FH. So I can compare BD to FH in the same way that I can compare any two corresponding sides. So I can compare AB to EF. So I fill in what I know. 2x minus 5 compares to x plus 5. In the same way that 5 and 1/4 compares to 7. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to have 7 times 2x minus 5 equals, and then if you want, just make that a 5.25 times x plus 5. So 14x minus 35 equals 5.25x plus 5 times 25 is 25. A fourth of 5 is 1.25, so that would be 26.25. So then I'm going to subtract 5.25x on each side. And I'm going to add 35 on each side. So this would be 0.75 8. Okay, equals, and this is going to be 0.25, that's 11, 5, 6, divide, and this is an x, divide each side by 8.75. And x equals, so now I know x is 7, but that's not what the question asks. The question asks what's BD. And BD is 2x minus 5, so I have to do 2 times 7 minus 5, so 14 minus 5, so BD is actually 9. Okay, for the bonus question, the ratio of the lengths of the sides of triangle ABC is 5 to 2.5 to 4, which is also equivalent to 5x to 2.5x to 4x. The scale factor of triangle ABC to triangle DEC is 5 to 2. Okay, that means it's a reduction, so I'm going from 5 down to 2. So if I want my scale factor on a reduction, I would have to write it as 2/5. So every side length of triangle ABC can be multiplied by 2/5 to get every side length on DEC. And the scale factor of triangle DEC to triangle FEG is 1 to 4. Okay, but DEC to FEG is an enlargement. So if my scale factor is 1 to 4, that means I could write it as 4 over 1 to be an enlargement. So every side length of triangle DEC can be multiplied by 4 to get every side length on FEG. And you know BC is the shortest side. So in my 5 to 2.5 to 4x, I know that my 2.5x has to represent side BC. And I know AB is the longest side. So 5x would be the longest, so I know 5x represents AB. I have to figure out what FG is. Well, if I go back and look at the similarity statements on my triangles, FG would correspond to DC. So if I can figure out DC, then I can figure out FG. Well, DC corresponds to AC. So I need to figure out what AC is. Well, AC would be the 4x. Well, I know BC in the picture is 10. So I know that's 10. So I can say 2.5x is equal to 10. Divide each side by 2.5. So I just figured out that x is 4. Well, if x is 4, then AC is 4 times 4. So I just figured out that AC is 16. Well, I can take 16, multiply it by 2/5. That would give me 32/5. And AC corresponds to DC. So I know DC is equal to 32/5. Then I can multiply that by 4 to get FG. So 32 times 4 is 160 or 128 over 5. If you take 128 divided by 5, you get 25.6. So now I know FG equals 25.6.